Welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the Transfer News Update Show. I've got a little bit of transfer news for you, as well as Jurgen Klopp did hold his pre-match press conference earlier on about Newcastle. So we'll get into that as well. First things first, though, I am absolutely in love with the idea of Ryan Gravenberch joining Liverpool Football Club. So that is exactly where I'm going to start off then. And let's go straight into it. Christian Falk, Sport Build, really reliable source, was speaking with Caught Offside. Here's some of the things he did go on to say. He said, "I know for sure that Jurgen is very, very interested in Ryan Gravenberch, and now the situation has changed. Gravenberch has permission from Thomas Tuchel to leave Bayern Munich because Tuchel's idea is that if they sell him, there we go, and Liverpool have signalled that they will pay 20 million, Tuchel will get funds, perhaps to fund a new number 6. Falk then goes on to say, the board has said no to his request, but if there's money coming in for potential sale of Gravenberch, he could try to get a holding midfielder for the squad. So let's start there. I'm sorry, I'm not starting there. Gareth Williams in the chat over here has just said great eyebrows. Thank you so much, mate. I had to pull that up. Anyway, back to the actual story and why I'm here. Gravenberch for 20 mil is an absolute bargain. I don't care what anyone says. That lad went to Bayern Munich and I thought, oh my God, what a player they've got. Nagelsmann, before Tuchel took over Bayern Munich, did not play him for whatever reason. I don't know what he's like in training, but he's not favoured, is he? And Tuchel's came in at the earliest chance that Bayern Munich could get him in. And even he has not decided to play Ryan Gravenberch, which is just a little bit weird. I totally understand, Goretzka, Kimmich, two of the best midfielders in the game, but there is space for a third there. It's clear that Bayern Munich do want a DM, and hopefully this is the big cause as to why Liverpool do get the man there after. They did go in for Declan Rice, if you do remember, before they signed Harry Kane. It turns out that they were not going to get him, but they were willing to pay decent money for a DM. It's now got later into the transfer window. They've still not got one. It looks like, the board have said no to getting a DM. And Thomas Tuchel really, really wants a DM. I'd just play Kimmich there if I was him. Kimmich is incredible. If he's not realised that, I don't know why. Just continue to do that. But either way, this hopefully means Ryan Gravenberch has a chance of leaving Bayern Munich. We know that Manchester United are now rivaling Liverpool, though, to get the signature of Gravenberch. But this is a story that, if it does happen, it will hopefully happen quite quickly. I reckon about 7 days ago, all the news was Liverpool want Ryan Gravenberch, but Bayern Munich will not sell him because they do not want to lose him. They signed Ryan Gravenberch for dead cheap because they knew at some point they'd either make the money back, make a bit of profit, or he'd just be boss. They don't play him enough to see if he's actually boss. He's still young enough that he can, his ceiling's very, very high as a footballer. So we've really got to see what goes on there. I'll bring up some more quotes from what Christian Falk did say. He said Liverpool could seal a transfer of Ryan Gravenberch really fast if they were to get concrete with a move for the Dutchman this summer. Once again, it all goes back to if we do get some sort of, I don't know, kind of acceptance that, put a bid in and we'll let him leave, then maybe he might end up at Anfield. He went on to say, I think Gravenberch is open to both clubs. Liverpool and Manchester United are very interested in the Premier League. He's very interested in the Premier League. He will choose the club that shows him he'll get playing time. I think Klopp is a very good guy to pursue people. So at this moment, I would see Liverpool being at the front of the race, which is good because growing up my entire childhood, Liverpool were not front race for players. It was very much Manchester United. Thankfully, at this moment in time, it feels like we should have a bigger pull than Manchester United. Saying that, Mason Mount decided to go there. They can defo offer bigger wages because we've seen that Harry Maguire is just sat on a bench now, not wanting to leave because of how much he's on, and fair play to him. For Gravenberch, he wouldn't necessarily mind which club it is. He just wants to leave. If Liverpool get concrete, the transfer could happen really fast, but you could see that they are testing the market. They tried to get Andre Fluminense, but they didn't succeed. I'm not too sure how true the Fluminense thing is. We are very interested in Andre, of course, but we've been told all along it's 40 mil now. if you want him, you're going to have to buy the release clause. It's 20 in the summer. It feels like something that Liverpool would wait on. Liverpool also denied actually putting a bid in for him the other day when all those rumours went off, so who knows. But it's clear that Ryan Gravenberch is loved by both Liverpool and Manchester United. And talking about Manchester United, Fabrizio Romano came out and said the situation is not easy. I think, yes, it's not easy. It's not an easy situation because it depends on Bayern. The player will be open to a Premier League move, but he was already open in January, so it's a similar situation to the January transfer window. Both Liverpool and the Manchester United called the players' agents last week to ask for information regarding how the feeling was on the players' side and if there was a chance to make it happen. The feedback is always the same. Gravenberch would be open to that possibility. So there you have it. Liverpool last week, remember when it was all, it came up once again, but it was very much, you know, Bayern Munich want to keep him. That's slightly changed now. If Tuchel can get some money to sign a DM, it seems like he would be willing to part ways with Ryan Gravenberch, which I'm absolutely all for. Get what you think down in the comments. Do you think Ryan Gravenberch is a good signing? For 20 mil, I don't care whether he needs more or not. I'd sign him for 20 mil straight away. But let's see what happens. Obviously, Liverpool are gonna have to put a timer on this because we've got 7 days left of the transfer window. You can't wait 6 days to see if Bayern Munich want to or are willing to let go of Ryan Gravenberch. You've got to basically say to Bayern Munich, look, we're willing to pay this much. We'll sort the terms and everything. We've agreed it with the player. But you need to give us some sign in the next 3 days that you're willing to let him leave. Otherwise, we're going to have to look at someone else because Liverpool cannot go into the season with just what they've got now. I think they need 2 more signings minimum. Whether we'll actually get that, I've got no idea. I thought Liverpool would have had their business done already. That is not the case. It's quite worrying now, to be perfectly honest. And it's all good and well being in for Ryan Gravenberch. But if you've got Bayern Munich who are just and ahhing over whether to sell him or not, Liverpool, we do not have the time here. So let's hope that Liverpool get their act into gear. Jose, has this came up? Oh, he has. Look at that. 20 mil for Endo plus 20 for Gravenberch. Solid business. Surely enough for a centre-back to come in also. Exactly. And if Endo, look, Gravenberch isn't your out-and-out DM, I think you can kind of mould him into that, and I think he can do a role there. If him and Endo, interchanging in that, you've also got time to give, maybe Szoboszlai and McAllister a little bit of rest here and there. It's an unbelievable player for £20 million. I mean, Toffee TV have just came in talking to me and they're willing to spend 30 mil on Willie Gnotto from Leeds. I'm absolutely sound with 20 mil for Ryan Gravenberch. 20 mil for Endo, that was very much for me, it screamed, this is what we're going to paper over the cracks for like maybe a year or two and then we'll bring in the next best thing. But yeah, 20 mil for Gravenberch, 20 mil for Endo. I don't think we're getting Gravenberch. I think it's a little bit too late. I'm still going to read into everything Christian Falk says, but I do feel like there's just not enough time and Liverpool do need to get someone in quickly, to be honest. But let's hope. And if that's the case, it's also the quota. He doesn't take up a spot of non-English, does he? Because he's of age. That'll only kick into gear next season, which therefore means Liverpool can go and buy a centre-back who doesn't have to be English, which hopefully can help us out as well. But yeah, thank you so much for the $4.99. Really appreciate it. I'll get to some more comments. Chris said, are we still linked with Amrabat? No. I think that boat sailed like 3 weeks ago, to be honest. Rav D said there was enough time though, that's the issue. I 100% agree with you. This is the thing. This is what I said. I expected it to be done because I expected Liverpool, like Klopp mentioned, I want everyone in before the start of pre-season. We're about to play our 3rd game in the Premier League season. So internally, they have effed up. Everyone can see that. We can see that with what happened to Caicedo and Lavia, whether we really wanted Lavia to pay just, not even the 3 mil that was needed. I don't know, but internally we have effed it up. We know that. I can tell you that. I'm pretty sure the club can probably tell you that if they would really be honest. But this is the situation we're in. Liverpool are going to have to act fast. And it comes to a point of, if Ryan Gravenberch is not If we're getting nothing from Bayern Munich saying, yeah, we'll give you them in the next couple of days, we're willing to, then we need to move on. What we all know is that Liverpool do not have a good enough squad to challenge for the title. That is my belief. I'm pretty sure everyone in the comments, or at least, you know, a lot of people who are optimistic might think we have a chance. But I think people who are looking at our squad know that we still sit here and need 2, maybe 3 signings, 2 minimum. One, you know, being a centre-back. You could choose either side of centre-back, and we'll get on to why in a moment. But a DM as well, or a cover. So, yeah, it's absolutely gone a bit bananas. Effortless here saying, thinking prospect, he is a good signing, but he does not solve or help ease the burden of needing another 6. I think he does, personally. I think he does. You can argue with me. I'm fine with that. It's very risky for this season. He wouldn't want to play the 6 either, by all accounts. Let me sit here and tell you, he wants to leave Bayern Munich. Yeah, Bayern Munich, the one who win the league every single season, the one who offers decent wages, the one who's in a Champions League, and, you know, with Harry Kane up top, might be able to win that Champions League. He wants to leave that squad. Why? Because he's not getting a single bit of game time. If he came to Liverpool and you offered him in rotation with the 6 and the 8, he'd say yes. He would want to play the 6. Why? Because he's not playing footy at all, wherever he is. I think he could be a 6. I genuinely do. I think under Jurgen Klopp, he's tall, he's built. He's not... You want him more as an 8. Totally get that, box to box. But I think he has it in him to do a 6 in rotation with Endo and can rotate elsewhere on the pitch. And also, it's a case of, look what we've done with Curtis Jones. He was a left winger, turned into an attacking 8, and then we moved into 6 for the game. Stefan Bajcetic made him a DM when he's more suited to the 8, probably. There is ways we can do this, and I think Ryan Gravenberch does have the technical ability. It is a case of you can't do makeshift. I totally get that. But if it's him or no one, I'm getting him. Because at least he's another body in midfield. I can't put my trust in Curtis Jones or Thiago to stay fit. I can't. The history of it doesn't correlate to me being able to put full trust into them. Harvey Elliott is more an advanced 8, and I don't think he starts every game. Szoboszlai and McAllister are going to need a rest somewhere. God forbid they ever got injured. You need another body. Endo can't do the 6 on his own all season. So if it's between him and no one, it is him for me. But, you know, I totally take into consideration what you're saying. I agree on it even. Let's move on. Oh, we've got another super chat. Thank you so much. We've got Klopp's comments indicating the next 7 days you'll push very hard for more signs. Very late, but you need it. Looking forward to playing LFC on Sunday. Oh, Newcastle fan. I'd say all the best on Sunday. I don't want it. All the best for the rest of the season. I will say that to you. I'm not looking forward to this weekend as a Liverpool fan. Going to St James's Park is going to be a really tough game for the Reds. We all know that. Hopefully Liverpool do sign some players. To be fair, I expected Newcastle to sign more players, but what they've signed, they've done well with. Harvey Barnes has hit the ground running, Tonali's hit the ground running. You've got that, I think, Lewis Hall, who's coming at left back from Chelsea. So Newcastle there with a lovely little super chat to us. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I do not look forward to playing Newcastle on Sunday. I look forward to it in the idea of it's football. I think it's going to be a torrid game now. My nerves are not going to be able to deal with that. But nice one for the super chat. I appreciate it. I am trying to get this off my screen so I can bring more up. Here we go. Someone said Doucouré is the best option for me. I said this. I now no longer say it because I'm hearing nothing on it. I thought Doucouré was brilliant. I think he looks really good. He is your DM. He's 70 to 80 mil. And for some reason, like the reports, rumours, speculation, all of it is really died down. So I've got no idea. This is why I like the Gravenberch thing, why it's still there. Coming from Christian Falk, like it's you know, he's not just some random name that we're plucking out of here. It's a lad who's very well perceived by the entirety of the transfer fans. So, you know, let's see. 7 Forces said, hell no, 70 mil is too much. I agree, but that is what That is what is being put out there. Tony, Decore not worth 80 mil. No, I agree. I didn't think Lavia was worth 50. Never mind whatever Chelsea pays. But my point being is, sadly, that is the price tag that they've slapped on Doucouré. And if Liverpool just do not want to pay that much, we will not be signing Doucouré, which is why I'm okay with this kind of Gravenberch deal. Someone's put Andre updates from Daniel. This is what I will say. If we got Gravenberch now for 20, a centre-back, which I'd like a bit of cash spent on, if we get them and then sign Andre in the summer, I'm absolutely sound with that. I really am. And I'm hoping that's the way it's going to go. Do I think it will? No. Am I extremely worried? That's it. Get in the comments how many signings you think Liverpool will make in the next 7 days. We have 7 days until the end of the transfer window. I reckon Liverpool will sign one more player. I reckon, I hope, Tom has just completely and utterly killed us here. He's gone with the 0. Oh God, guys, honestly, I can't be dealing with this. 0 here, we've got Barry saying 1, Daniel 0, Steve 0, Subway Sweden 0-1, what is going on? Steve 0, Patrick Westmore, this is why I like Patrick 2. If Liverpool sign 2 and it be a centre mid DM and the centre back, I'm absolutely rav with the -5. Absolutely love it, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's see what happens. -1 Salah going. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, but it is a little bit funny, innit? You gotta laugh instead of cry. That's the way I'm looking at it. Speaking of Salah, let's segue into the next one. Oh, someone's put at the game this weekend, Chloe. I should be, yeah. Let's hope I get some good footage of the Reds winning. Whether that'll happen, I'm not too sure. Anyway, Mo Salah, let's get on to him. How scared was you at around 4:30, 5 p.m. last night when rumours were that Al Ittihad would do absolutely everything and anything possible to get Mo Salah to join them this summer? I was very worried. I'm not worried in terms of, I heard what his agent came out and said a couple of weeks ago about why would we sign a new contract if he was going to go. But also, this is Saudi money we're talking about. It's not just going to a club which you can earn 500 grand instead of 350 now. It's much, much higher. Jürgen spoke in his press conference about it earlier on and said there is nothing to talk about from our point of view. We don't have an offer. Mo Salah is a Liverpool player, essential to what we do. There's nothing there, and if there was something there, then the answer is no. Absolutely adore that. I think, right, I don't know about yous, if this happened before we'd sold Fabinho and Henderson, right? This happened 6 weeks ago and they came in with a really massive offer for Salah. I reckon the club might have had to think about it, but because there's only 7 days left of the transfer window, they're not thinking about it, and rightfully so. Liverpool should not sell Mo Salah at any cost this summer. We've got too little time to replace him, and also the best right wingers have practically gone. Do you remember Jeremy Doku, who was linked with Liverpool for ages? If I'm not mistaken, did he have a Bosch Euros, Aaron? Yeah, had a Bosch Euros. He's just signed for City the other day. So we are slim pickings on the right wingers. It is absolutely essential that we keep Mo Salah because we've got no one who can really do that. We've obviously got Ben Doak, but it is a little too early. I love to see him thrown in, give him the last 20 minutes here and there. But if you challenge him for top 4 and you challenge him for the title or Europa League, whatever, Liverpool need to have their best players. He is arguably our best player. 100 mil, I wouldn't even say yet to you in a year's time. I need 150 minimum, to be honest. That is my outlook. I reckon 100 mil is too cheap. Absolutely. If I was Liverpool, I'd sit there and I'd say, we know how much money you have. We're not stupid. Like, literally, no. How much did they spend 100 mil on Neymar or something? 89, 90? Well, Salah right now is twice the player that Neymar is. I've seen more from Salah in the Champions League, Premier League, than I have Neymar in that crap League One. Like, I just have. So I'd be wanting double whatever Neymar was. So at least we got confidence in Jurgen Klopp and what he was saying. However, since then, there's been more reports. Sky Sports have came out and said that Al Ittihad are willing to pay more than 100 million to sign Salah. This was after Jurgen Klopp, by the way. This is only like a couple of hours ago. So the fact that they're even going on about it's a bit mad. They went on to say they are prepared to make him one of the best paid players in the world on around, are you ready? Are you ready? I can't even comprehend this amount of money. 1.5 million a week. I don't get it. What can you get with that you can't get with 350 a week? Like, what is it that Mo Salah can't afford that he just could afford with 1.5 mil? The amount of money in this is absolutely ridiculous. Not a single person on this earth needs that much money. No one. And you're not convincing me that you or your future relatives are ever going to need 1.5 mil a week. Never. But that is how mad the world is when it comes to football. 1.5 mil a week. That is probably more than all of us in this chat and live will ever earn in our lifetimes put together, by the way. Like, it just is. That is outrageous. And obviously, the big thing with this 1.5 mil a week, it's not, 1.5, but actually only 700 after tax. No, it's 1.5 mil free of tax. Yeah, it's ludicrous the amount of money that is being absolutely lobbed about in football these days. Daniel Ward with a £5 super chat. Thank you so much, mate. There is no way we value Caicedo at 115 mil and sell Salah for 100. Thank you. Absolutely love that. I agree. There also isn't anyone in the market to replace him. It seems like a publicity stunt. Now, see what you're going on with the publicity stunt. What I will say is, don't expect Salah to be here next season. Salah will not be a Liverpool player next season. And if he is, I'll be over the moon. But he will go next summer. He will stay here for this summer and he will go next summer. Liverpool, at some point, he'll have a year left on his contract maybe. And if they come in and offer 100 mil, Liverpool will probably have to look at it and Salah will probably want to leave. Let's not lie. I totally agree with you though. I understand Caicedo is 115 mil because you're paying for his future and his potential. You're not paying for just the player he is now. You're paying for what he is in 3-4 years' time. Get it? But Mo Salah is one of the world's best players. Just has been for the last 3, 4, 5 years, is still in incredible shape, will still be in and around the top goal scorers, top assists in the Premier League. If Haaland wasn't there, he might win one of them. So yeah, I totally agree. 100 mil for Salah is an absolute no for me. But let's see what happens. What I will say is that I do think he will sadly be going next summer. That is just something I have a feeling within. It seems to me that, and I'll read the quote first because Christian Falk is back at it again. Earlier on, once again, after Jurgen Klopp's press conference, came out and said, last night were intensive discussions between Al Ittihad and the management of Mo Salah about a transfer. So, last night, Al Ittihad have been in contact with Salah's representatives and basically offering him and trying to lure him away as much as possible. It seems to me that Salah has turned around and said to them, right, like, I really like it and I would join you, but I can't, I can't force my way out of here and I won't. For the main reason of Liverpool has literally made you what you are, Mo Salah. We're brilliant. You were great. But you came to Liverpool as a Chelsea reject who failed in the Premier League. And under Jurgen Klopp and what you've built with Liverpool has built what Mo Salah is today. And I think he's had too much respect to say outright I'm forcing a move. But he's defo not said, no, get away. Because he knows that in a year's time, if that contract comes up again to him, he might have the ability to say to Liverpool, look, I've been here how long, I want to leave now. And Liverpool might have to look at the money then and go, yeah, 100 mil for him with a year left on his contract, sure. So I do think it is a case of Salah does want to leave. I think Salah would be happy to leave. But I also think Salah, at this moment in time, knows what Liverpool Football Club have done for him. And with signing a contract that he did, the other year, he can't force his way out and he won't do that. So at least he's respectful on that front. But yeah, 100 mil for Salah, by the way, in a year's time is not enough for me. I want 150. I want absolutely everything I can get from these people because we know you've got an endless pot of gold there. So just keep ringing every quid that you can get out of that. into it. I really do think that's the way Liverpool should go. Maybe I'm being a bit too greedy. Someone's put 200 mil. Yeah, I'll have 200 mil for Salah. Yeah, maybe once again. Right now, imagine if they offered that though now. Like, imagine, like, this is just not going to happen. But if they came to Liverpool today and offered 200 mil for Salah, what do you think would happen? Because 100 mil compared to 200 mil, there's a lot there. But also, we've got 7 days of the transfer window left with absolutely no one available to go and buy. I'd have to go and place a bid on Chiesa and hope that his ACL or whatever he did is sound and he's not, you know, he can come back stronger. I don't know what I'd do there. What would you do? LJ said, honestly, 200 mil I'd take. Fair, okay. I'm a little bit worried at the fact that we've only got 7 days left in the transfer window. Mr. Adams said, Liverpool cannot say no to 200 mil. Fair play. I agree. I don't think they would. We've got another super chat. Thank you. L_lad is right. Whatever happens with Salah, we've been left short. I agree. That's our fault then. That's not someone else's coming in for our players. That's the other thing. I said at the time for being here for 40 mil when there was no one on the market who we could replace him for 40 mil. I thought 40 mil was very cheap for him as well, especially from the Saudi clubs. How much did Koulibaly go for? Like 30? Yeah. Bit mad. Let's see. What else have we got? I think everyone's willing to sell him. For 200 mil, I would play Ben Doak until he drops. Sadly, I mean, I love Ben Doak. I don't think I love him here and there every day. You're putting a bit too much pressure on the lad. But either way, Adam O'Hare, 200 mil, sell. We are just living in cuckoo land though, because that's just not going to happen, is it? We've all just made that fairy tale up. Okay, anyway, moving on then, let's round up some of the injury news, because believe it or not, there is more injury news. A player who we didn't even know was injured. And let's get straight on to that. Klopp today in his press conference confirmed that Konate has a muscle injury. Now, I absolutely adore Ibrahima Konate. Love the lad. Think he's phenomenal. However, this injury record is getting very, very, very boring. I am sick and tired of it. I know he can't help it. I totally get that. I know the lad can't help if he's injured or not, but I'm bored. I am bored of constantly seeing how many injuries this lad's had. He's had more injuries than he's played. I swear, it feels like he's in for 2, out for 5. And I love him. I think he's brilliant. But it's pointless. All of our right-sided centre-backs get injured every 3 games. It's a joke. I am going to bring up this lovely injury transfer market thing that I've got. In 17-18, he had a thigh problem. That's on him out for 7 days. Not that bad, but it was 4 international caps with France that he missed. In 17-18, he then had a minor knockout for 5 days. Nothing really to do with that. Didn't miss a single game. 19-20, he torn his muscle fibre. 160 days he was out for, and 35 games across France and Leipzig. Then in that same season, he tore another muscle fibre, was out for a further 14 days, which missed 3 Leipzig games. Then in 2021, he torn another muscle fibre, was out for 106 days, which is 15 games across France and Leipzig. In 2021, he had an ankle injury, was out for 49 days, 9 games for Leipzig. Then he obviously joined Liverpool. In 22-23, he had a knee injury. He was fine the first season, I think, for us. He was unbelievable in that Champions League final, by the way, against Real Madrid. But in 22-23, he was out for 55 days with a knee injury that saw him out for 10 games across France and Liverpool fixtures. And then in that same season, he had a muscle injury. He was out for 28 days, which was 5 Liverpool games. Look, once again, I can't emphasise it enough. I love Ibrahima Konate. I think he could go on to be one of the best centre-backs in the game at this, in 3-4 years' time. I reckon he might be at the peak of his powers, one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League for sure, maybe even potentially in Europe. But this injury thing needs sorting out, because you can't, even if you do have Konate, who's injured. You then can't have Joe Gomez and Matip, who are sat there waiting to come in to play one game to then get injured. This weekend, we're gonna probably have to rely on one of Joel or Joe, both who haven't had a rhythm of games, who were just lobbing in, who's injury prone anyway. There's a real problem that we have at both centre-backs. We've got a left-sided, left-footed centre-back / left-back situation and a right centre-back situation, because Konate, Matip and Joe Gomez between them can just about make a full season of games. And like, even then, I'm really not too sure they can. I'm not including Nat Phillips in this. Let the lad go. How that lad hasn't gone yet, I'm not too sure. But what do you think? Someone's asked me if I can play centre-back. Believe it or not, that was my position when I played football. I do like watching now from the stands a little bit better than I would. I'd enjoy having Verge next to me, Trenty. I'd enjoy that. I'd enjoy playing with the lads. I just feel, right, yeah, if I came up against Chris Wood in a header, it's not going to go well for me. So I feel like I probably shouldn't. But that's just me. I don't think I'm going to get the call up anytime soon. But yeah, Adam O'Hare, we definitely need at least 2 centre-backs, we do. And we can only do one of them this summer, probably. So I think we all knew that we needed 1 centre-back this summer, another centre-back in January or the next summer. I genuinely do not know. I do not know what we're going to do. I'm really hoping that, he said he was just a doubt, so hopefully, he makes a miraculous recovery, but let's be honest, we will not risk him, even if he is all right. So let's hope. Let's see what happens. I've got no idea. Chloe, she's our centre half. Love it. Love that. If I could have that sung around the carp next game, that'd be brilliant. I still don't think I'm going to be allowed on the football pitch, though, sadly. Someone's put Gomez is finished. He was lacklustre last season and isn't up to Premier League quality. I definitely think he's in Premier League quality. I mean, if you're telling me he can't get a game ahead of Keane for Everton, I don't know where you are. Because Michael Keane is quite a special footballer. No, look, Joe Gomez, he's fell off a cliff, let's be honest. He was once brilliant. I don't know where he is now. Last season he was horrific. It was mad. He had that one game against Manchester City, was brilliant, but then was ultimately horrific for the rest of the season. I don't think Matip suits this system. I don't. He can't go on these long runs up the pitch anymore and dribble better than Darwin Núñez can, because we don't allow that, because our right back's in centre mid somewhere further up the pitch. We can't let our right centre back also go on a run up the pitch, even though I did love his ability to run up a pitch and unlock things. He can't do that anymore, so the system doesn't fit Joel Matip. So it is a bit mad. Jürgen Klopp did have something to say, though, on that injury situation. He said, in an ideal world, we would have 6, 7, 8 centre-backs, but I have no doubt about the quality of the boys. At this moment, we are covered. Quansah, a super talented player, At this moment, we are covered, but it's not where you can be prepared for every situation. We will do our absolute best. I hope that means by we will do our absolute best, that means we are going to go back into the transfer window and get another centre-back. Quansah looked really good in pre-season. Would I want to lob him in? No. You got to drip feed these lads in. You can't just send them in and hope for the best. You can't. We did do that, however, with Stefan Bajcetic, and we did get the best out of him. We just overused him. Someone's saying Quansah should be given a chance. I'm not starting him against Newcastle on Sunday. No. I like the lad. I think he can be a super talent. But I'm not having that we've got enough centre-backs. I'm just not. We need another one. We need another 2, probably. But right now, we at least need 1. I think Quansah, in a couple of years' time, will be boss. I think he needs to be drip-fed into the team. Carabao Cup games, maybe some Europa League, even that, if you're facing crap competition. I love a bit of that. But in terms of Premier League, no. Joel Matip and Joe Gomez are going to have to step up. They just are. Whether they will or not, who knows? They might get injured 60 minutes in. I just couldn't tell you. The possible outcome is they don't do great and they get injured. But let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope it's the complete opposite. Solo, big up Chloe, brilliant as always. Nice one, mate. Big up to you too. So yeah, and also before we do go, I'll give you some more injury news updates dead quickly. Trent is back for this weekend, thank the Lord. He wasn't great against... Who did we play the other day? Bournemouth. He wasn't great against Bournemouth. Obviously took the knock, went off injured, hobbled around a lot. Glad to see him back in training. He is available for this Sunday. Let's hope he can do much better than what he did the other day. He wasn't horrific by any stretch of the imagination. He just wasn't, what we saw last season or towards the end of last season, when he literally grabbed the game by the scruff of his neck. But maybe he doesn't have to do that because we've got Szoboszlai and McAllister, who is also available after, people just send people off for things that aren't red cards. Thiago and Curtis will miss out this Sunday, though. They are in training from Monday on, so at least we're getting those two players back. They won't be lobbed in either, probably next weekend against Villa. Hopefully they will be in the squad. Whether they'll start, I'm not too sure about. You've got to be careful with both of them. So yeah, let's hope that this weekend Liverpool can put a boss line up that still has Konate in if he would like to come back from injury. And let's hope we get 3 big points. It's going to be a really horrible game to watch, I think. I'm going to be all over the place with nerves. But we do, if you want to challenge for titles, if you want to challenge for top 4, these are the teams that you're going to have to beat in tight games. And let's hope that we do that. Anyway, nice one for joining me. All the best and up the Reds.
Thank you so much for watching. The new season is here. Come and join us over on redmenplus.com for fantastic shows, pre and post-match content, journalistic insights into all Liverpool's transfer business, documentaries, interviews, features and more. Head to redmenplus.com, sign up today and fill your boots with Boss Liverpool content.